I think we were supposed to be able to view the Northern Lights from Chicagoland. Moderate solar storm is what I'm told. A moderate solar storm was a brewing, and you'd be able to, if it was clear. Once you get away from the lights of Chicago, you may be able to see them in this area.
So out west, like?
Yeah, I thought, well, why wouldn't we call the Adler Planetarium, place I've been going since I was a kid?
Right.
They would put you on a school bus out there in the suburbs and drag us down to the Adler Planetarium, and you'd sit in that room, and the stars would swirl around, and you just wanted to be an astronaut.
Yeah.
Then you find out you're not smart enough. So then you work at the radio station that was playing on the bus that brought you down there.
Right.
Without further ado, let's bring her on. This is Michelle Nichols. She is the Adler Planetarium Director of Public Observing. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's good to have you here. You know, it's such a cool place that I think, if you haven't been in a while, and we all have stories of bus trips and school trips and, going there with our kids. Get over to the Adler and see what's going on because it's just spectacular. Now, tell me about the auroras and what we have going on, and has it passed us by? Because it looks to me, and according to weather forecast, it's going to be a little cloudy around here. Where do we have to go to see this?
Well, I hate to say this. To be able to see them really well, you need to go up into northern Canada and Alaska.
Okay, well, it was good talking to you.
It's great to have you. I hope you have a great rest of the day. What happened was the early aurora forecasts were showing that we might be able to see them in northern Illinois, but as the days went on, the forecast got a little weaker than what we originally thought. So yeah, those auroras retreated back up to where they normally see them. So no, we're not going to see them in this.
Because there were reports, all the news outlets, everybody's talking how the auroras are going to be here. It's going to be spectacular, and this was just up to a few days ago, but it changed that quick.
Absolutely, because aurora forecasts 3 days is an eternity. A lot of things can change, and so they're only as good as the prediction. And I hate to say it, we're better at predicting the weather 3 days out than we are at predicting auroras 3 days out. So it's hit or miss sometimes. Auroras aren't black or white.
Well, and really, it's hard to see them here in town, and a lot of that is due to the excessive light that we have. And I know you guys work tirelessly to work with communities to actually tone down lights, and that's important, isn't it?
It is. Light pollution is absolutely a problem. It's something that people don't even realize. It can affect your health. It can affect your sleep. It can affect all sorts of things. It's not just we can't see the night sky. People go, oh, big deal. But it really does. There's documented effects of light pollution on people's health, long-term effects. And so it's something that we definitely need to be aware of. And there is a way to find common ground between safety and security and lights and the night and dark. So, yeah, definitely something we continue to work on.
I have my folks retreated to northern Wisconsin years ago up in Vilas County, so you get a lot of cool star viewing. It's just amazing. It's like being in Colorado up on a mountain where you think you can just reach out and grab stars. But since COVID, and a lot of people from here moved there, people are just complaining to no end about everybody from Chicago moving up to northern Wisconsin and leaving on their high-intensity lights all night long.
Absolutely. I mean, you really only need the light when you're outside. Otherwise, what is it for? You're lighting up the undersides of airplanes and birds and the grass around your house, and that stuff doesn't need actually, a lot of that stuff needs dark. So it's something that we really want people to look into. Okay, so
you've kind of burst my Aurora Borealis bubble. We're not going to be able to see them. But while we have you here, tell me what are we looking for in the celestial skies in the next coming weeks, and what's going on at Adler that we can come see?
Well, you can actually do both of those questions at the same time. You want to come down on a Wednesday night? We're open from 4 to 10 p.m., and it's Illinois resident discount night. So we have free general admission for Illinois residents, and shows are extra, but if you want to not see a show, that's okay too. But if you do, we've got our Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon show running as the last show every single day, and it is spectacular, I must say. But the night sky, the summertime night sky is great to look at. If you've seen that bright thing in the western sky, that's Venus. If it's clear out on Wednesday nights, we've got our observatory open. And so the latter summer night sky, we get to see some star clusters and little nebulae, gas clouds in the sky. So it's a lot of fun to point the big telescope at stuff in the summer.
I remember as a kid, in that same place I talked about in northern Wisconsin, I would take some Pink Floyd, put it on the radio in the boat, just turn the wheel in the boat and just go in circles. Real slow, and look up in the sky.
Yeah.
But probably not as technical, and probably not with the narration that I can get there at the Adler Planetarium.
It's the entire album, start to finish, with some really amazing graphics to go along with it. It's a pretty chill show, and we've just gotten great response from folks. It's only playing in a handful of places in the United States. So you can only get it at the Adler and a few other places. So we really want folks to come down and see it before it goes away sometime next year.
This is Michelle Nichols. She's the Adler's Director of Public Observing. Before I let you go, I have to ask you, did any of that smoke that we had from the Canadian wildfires, did that intrude in any way to the way you guys can see the sky?
100%. We actually had to cancel an observatory session that we had 3 weeks ago because the smoke was so thick. I walked outside. I literally saw 0 stars in the sky.
Wow.
It was remarkably bad. And I've never seen it that bad before. So, yes, it absolutely can affect what we can see.
And I know you have something fancy coming up this weekend at the Adler. What is that?
We've got, actually coming up later this month, we've got a brand new exhibit opening. And it's called Stargazers Hub. We are so excited. It's our first new exhibit in about 4 years. And it is all about the tools of observation and getting folks to think about tools and how people use them and looking up at the sky. So, yeah, that's opening on July 29th. So we want everyone to come down and see it.
Okay, before one more thing. Because now I just remembered that, I am a star nut, and I've got it's called Star Walk. It's an app. That's on my phone, and you can point it at the sky, and it will tell you supposedly everything that you're looking at. Is there something you can suggest for an amateur stargazer that's just trying to impress his girlfriends with the night sky? His girlfriend, sorry, misspoke. Girlfriend, because everybody loves the heavens. I mean, how many songs have been written about, Venus and the sky and the moon? I mean, Bella Luna. It's the best. Is there an app that you guys prefer to talk about, or no?
Nothing we prefer. The app that's best is the one that you'll use. So if you use Star Walk, fabulous. If you use Stellarium, awesome. If you use Starry Night, awesome. Just use the one that works for you, has the features that you want. Yeah, go outside, find out what that bright thing is right before you take the significant other outside and go, yeah, that bright thing right there, that's then, yeah.
That's the nebula right there.
They're great.
Right, that's the nebula right there. I'm just telling you. Okay. Hey, it's good to talk to you. I'm sorry you didn't have better news on the Aurora Borealis. I've seen it a bunch. It's really cool. But if you want to see things that you don't normally see, Adler Planetarium, it's here. It's open. It is bustling. And when you're there, just say, Michelle Nichols told me that I get a free pass. No, don't say that.
Night, if you're an Illinois resident, yes, you will.
Michelle, good to talk to you.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great day.
You as well.